All right, we are going to start lesson 9, proportionality. I spelled that wrong. My bad. All right, we're going to do proportionality in graphs. So what is a proportional graph? I spelled that right this time. Go me. In the previous lesson, we looked at graphs. Now we're going to see if they are proportional. And you've been discussing proportional in previous lessons as well, with maybe looking at more as a table. Those were done in some previous lessons. So now we're going to look at it as a graph. So there's a couple ways we know that it is proportional. The graph of proportional relationship is a straight line that passes through the origin. In previous lesson, the origin is the point 0, 0. It has to run through that to be proportional. And the next one is a graph is proportional when x is proportional to y. That means, looking maybe back at your tables that you remember creating, they have the same unit rate every single time when they are simplified to their smallest ratio or to a fraction. And then you can also, just by looking at the graph, you can tell it's proportional. And I will show you that here. So here are some examples of proportional graphs. These are all proportional. Going back to our rules of what makes it proportional, do they run through the origin? And this first one over here on our left, yep, it runs through 0, 0. So this graph right here is talking about the time in minutes and how long it takes you to complete the laps. So our laps are over here. So in this first one, they run through 0, 0. If I don't run at any time, I haven't ran anything in any minutes, and I haven't completed any laps. So that makes sense. Then it looks like it goes from 3 to 2, meaning in 3 minutes I run 2 laps, and then in 6 minutes I run 4 laps, and in 9 minutes I run 6 laps. If we were to simplify all of these with our y over our x, 3 over 2, that simplifies to 1.5 laps per minute. And I apologize, my pen's not super small right now. So all of these, 6 to 4, 9 to 6, would all be simplified that you run 1.5 laps per minute. So there, I know, and with that straight line, it is proportional. So with our second one right here, with the water use, it's the time in minutes comparing to how much water is being used in gallons. So maybe you're filling up your swimming pool or something. But right away, just by looking, I notice it starts at 0, 0. No time has passed, no water has been used. And then it is also moving at that straight, solid line. So our x and our y are proportional. If I were to even create the tables or simplify those fractions, they would be proportional. And then now we're going to look at this third one. We have got magnets that you maybe bought at a souvenir shop for some family members. So our magnets is our x value. The cost is our y value. Once again, if I don't buy any magnets, I hope it doesn't cost me any money. And then I have a nice solid straight line. And so I know x and y are proportional. So you can see just by looking at this graph from our previous slide and our time in minutes to your laps that yes, it is proportional. But I need to know why. So yes, this graph is proportional because it runs through our origin of 0, 0 right here, over here, and because x is proportional to y. This is something you will need to write to answer any of your questions for this assignment. Please make sure this is in your notes. Right, so we started at our origin of 0, 0, and it's running through that straight line, and we know that x and y are proportional. Please remember this explanation. So here are examples of non-proportional graphs. Most of the time, they're not going to run through the origin, but remember there's 2 hints. They have to run through the origin, and x and y have to be proportional. They are not in these graphs. So looking at this first one, the theme park costs, number of tickets and costs. It doesn't start at 0, 0 at all, which means for 0 tickets, I actually have to pay $20. So no, this is not proportional. It does not run through the origin, and x and y are not proportional. Same thing with number 2 in the middle. It does not run through its origin, and x and y are not proportional. And for our third one, does not run through the origin, and our x and our y points are not proportional. Looking back at example 1, our theme park costs, it's not running through our origin. So we have to make sure we know how to explain that in a sentence. So this graph is not proportional because it does not run through the origin of that 0, 0, and x and y, our points, are not proportional. Please make sure that your guided notes are all completed, and now you can move on to your assignment for this lesson.